this is pretty cool. I'm leaving Rob and Sarah's place right now to go down to the railroad tracks where my trailer and our brand new wood chipper has been delivered. I want to state right away for the record that I am not sponsored by Woodland Mills, and we did pay for this mill all on our own for our own usage. Now that being said, if Woodland Mills said, hey, we'd like to sponsor you and send you 2 new sawmills to try out for the summer, I would not argue. But this is a non-sponsored video. So this time of year, the temperatures are starting to warm up, and this beautiful hard snow that's about 2 feet thick that I'm on is really starting to go south quickly. You gotta stay on the trail, or, well, as you'll see very nearly here, it's really soft. We call it that the snow has gone rotten. And when the snow has gone rotten, it is just, it's like stepping in a pot full of mashed potatoes. So all the sticks and branches and stuff you see down on the trail, that is from the storm damage that we had here in February, I think it was. It's just unavoidable. It'll be gone before too long. I think we've probably got about a month and all of the snow will be gone altogether. But it is a beautiful, sunny, warm day, and I couldn't pick a better day to be doing something like this. And Apollo definitely got his miles on this day. As far as 10,000 dog steps, I'm pretty sure he got more than that. When you see the video pause at certain spots here, it's because I'm actually taking the time to cut stuff out of the trail like I'm about to do now. These spots don't get better with time, so it's just best to remove the obstacle as you see it. And for this, I carry my little Echo arborist saw. This saw has been really handy this winter. And I just cut them up into firewood lengths because, well, might as well use them. For the trip that's about to come, any one of those would be enough to potentially toss the trailer off the trail. So that's why I'm being more cautious right now and removing all of those. And this is the first weekend of March. And we've still got, if I were to step off the trail, it would be mid-thigh as far as how deep it was. Okay, and you can see there the load that I had the Tundra truck deliver. I've got 3 55-gallon drums of used oil, which I use it for burning. I use it for a fuel. And my ATV wagon that I purchased used. It's pretty cool machine. It's actually got a linear actuator and it'll dump up to 1,700 pounds. Now, in this case, you can see that the hitch on the snow machine is really high, and it is unusually high. I'm going to end up getting a drop hitch for it because of the height of it, it ends up putting way too much downforce on the trailer, or on the snow machine, I should say, where the front tires of the trailer are actually barely touching the ground. It's actually nice enough out there that day that I am wearing my tennis shoes and a baseball cap. I can't complain about that. Okay, well, you can see the train delivered the chipper, and we've got that mounted in the ATV wagon, and now I'm going to use a snow machine to pull it up so we can assemble it. And I don't really know what that requires, so I'm not sure how to set you up here so you can see this. This is going to be kind of different, but I'll see what I can do. Now, with this setup here, the chipper alone weighs 500 pounds. I assume that's with the packaging that it's in. The ATV wagon, I'm unsure of what that weighs. It's probably, I don't know, 200 pounds, something like that. Maybe not quite that much. But it's a pretty good load. And you'll notice the mistake that I made is that the chipper is kind of to it would be my left hand side in the rear. That ends up catching me here in a little bit. And while it may seem that I'm going a little fast for the trail, I'm actually trying to keep my momentum up so that I can make the hills that are coming, because they're pretty steep. It's about 3/4 of a mile to go from the train tracks up to Robin-Sarah's. And while I'm trying to stay centered on the trail, at some point here I drift a little bit to the north, a little bit to the side of the trail, and that's where I was talking earlier that the snow is very soft when you're not on the hard packed trail. And honestly, this little trailer pulls pretty darn well on a hard packed trail like this. You'll see light under the front tires every now and then, and that's because the hitch is way too high on the snow machine. That's a super easy fix though. And here's where I started the hill climb. And you see where I get a little off to the side there and it starts sinking. And the sun, in particular, really likes to hit this ridge. And immediately I was done when it went off the trail. Oh, fuck. Now, instead of trying to just force my way out of it, and potentially going over the edge, I just tend to look at the situation, analyze it, and come up with a solid plan. Well, we got a problem. It slid all the way back to the corner and it sucked the trailer off the trail because the trail is turning to mush. So I'm going to have to walk back and get a drill so I can winch everything back on the trail. I'll be back in a little bit. Dang it, this was the worst part. Okay, so at this point, Apollo and I had walked all the way back to the cabin, and I'm once again, the worn drill winch is saving the day. I just anchor off to a tree. I pull it forward and as much as I can, and then I will pull it all the way to the front right corner, because this trail does kind of lean to the left. So I'm trying to weight the trailer to the high side, helping my odds of making it back anyway. I have used this worn drill winch more times this winter than I ever expected to use a winch. I know for certain that when I run the boat in the summer, this winch will be in the boat. In case you get stuck on a sandbar, something like that, it can be a sure way to save you out of that situation. So I just relocate the chain so I can pull to the side. Trying not to post hole. Post hole is what we call it when the snow starts to go bad like this, and instead of walking on top of it, you will suddenly drop all the way to the bottom. I don't know. It's not much fun. And this is one thing that's really handy about the snow machine, is that with the storage box on the back, I'm able to keep a 20-foot long 1/4-inch chain like this and the drill winch and all that stuff with me. Really good for self-recovery moments like this. This side. That's hard on my old string. Got that shifted. So now that I've got the chipper moved to where it needs to be, now I hook up to the trailer to do my best attempt at pulling the trailer back on the trail. I hooked as low as I possibly could. It was, I would say it's right at the limit of what this winch can do, but it gets it up there. Meanwhile, I've got one more tree to cut out of the trail, because this one could be a day wrecker for sure. And surprisingly, as well as it seems to work to pull it back on the trail, once I get moving, you'll see it drops right back into the same hole. It didn't seem to matter though because I had shifted the weight. We've got the trailer back on the trail. We've got the load brought to the front and left because this whole trail kind of wants to go to the left. So I'm going to grab my chain here and we're going to try to make it the last bit. She pulled out of there. Let's see if we can make it the rest of the way. The trail is okay, at this point, as risky as it sounds, it's all about momentum because it is a uphill climb for, I don't know, 150 feet here or so. So I have to go as fast as I can while still staying on the trail. Because this load, not only is it heavy, it's top heavy. And I think a big part of this trailer working well is the fact that it's got the big low pressure, high flotation tires in it. And they get us back. Yeah, the trailer tries to go off the trail a few more times here, but we get her back. Oh, we made it. Woo! You want to talk about doing some sketchy stuff there. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Well, we finally made it up the trail. Pretty sketchy. But, so it's the Woodland Mills TFG55 gas wood chipper. Everything I saw online about it, it seemed absolutely awesome. So I guess some assembly is required here. I don't know how much. I haven't seen anyone do that part. It's in a heck of a case though. It's all like a steel frame bolted to it. So hopefully it's put together more than I think it is. But yeah, let's cut these straps off there and see what we got. Holy moly. Yeah. It's gonna be some assembly. Are you ready? Ta-da! Wow. They do not mess around here. They're about $200 worth of steel in the frame for this thing. Whew. That's kind of cool. I'll be able to reuse all of that stuff. Holy moly. So what we're going to do is get this down to as many pieces as we can down on the ground in order to reduce the weight because, oh goodness, this looks like a lot. And it's all bolted together with nylock nuts. That's entirely unnecessary. Okay, I got to go get some tools. Well, we have the metal outside part of it off. Now it's time for the fun part. Let's get the plastic off there and start to see a little bit of color. There. Oh my. They're coming apart. Looks like a guard, but I got a little damage right there. It took me long enough to get this that I don't think I'm shipping it back for that. We'll just have to figure it out. That must be part of the feed chute. Stop it. TGF or TFG55. I don't know why I can't say that correct the first time. Okay, now this was around one of the guards. You can tell there's something more in here. Okay, this must be some sort of guard for the in-feed chute or something. Nicely done. Everything's lasered out and powder coated. Just fit and finish so far seems nice. Figure every piece I can get off this thing makes it lighter. I'll be able to get it out of the trailer somehow. But there is your high velocity chute, your discharge chute. Huh. I hope there's some kind of hitch that goes on there, like a 2-inch ball hitch. But there's the hitch. Very nicely done. This, I'm not sure where this goes, but it says twin flywheel on it. Laser cut in there, very nice. Flash chromed. Everything on this so far seems to be really, really well made. Okay, no idea what this is, but again, there we go. Here's one of the wheels that come with it. A 15x6x6, really nice high traction wheel. We'll put that to the test, I'm sure. Here's the battery box. No battery. I'll have to... It does have a recoil start, so I can start it that way for the time being. The neat thing is it's got electric start, so I know that it's got a good enough magneto in here that I could actually put lights on this, and it should run them just fine. So this is your standard instructions and safety booklet and stuff. Oh, look at that. We even got some tools. Wow, would you look at that? I kind of wanted to do it just to see if my maintenance kit that I ordered with it, which is another set of blades and a new cutter bar, but that did not show up at all. However, would you look at that? The bearing behind that flywheel is massive. That is absolutely massive in here. Right here is what I'm talking about. That is huge. Woo. And that big cast pulley, holy smokes. I guess I kind of understand why this thing weighs as much as it does. This is not your MTD standard Walmart version here. Wow, that's impressive. I gotta get it out of here though. That doesn't look like any fun at all. Okay, well, I'm gonna look at some instructions and some other stuff here and see if I can't get it out of here. Success! We got it on the ground without damage. And these are all the assembly parts up here, which is quite a few. And yeah, let's start by getting some wheels on it. So they give us an option here. I guess if you're just going to leave it on a trailer, then this thing would go on the front and it would be just a foot stand for it. But I'm not going to use that. I'm going to have a tow hitch on it and keep it hooked to a four-wheeler or something like that. So we don't need that. So we'll be doing the hitch thing here instead. Let's get this stand in it. At least that'll hold it up while I'm putting it together. Okay, well, I got it assembled yesterday, and now it's time to actually get it from where we stay up here temporarily to our property. Unfortunately, it's about 37 degrees and raining, so the trail is turning to mush quickly. It doesn't have any oil or fuel in it, so I'm okay laying it down like this, and I'm going to use this black sled here. I'm going to strap it well and try to get it there that way, because the trail's turning to mush pretty quickly. I may have screwed up by pulling in here this far. I'm not sure that it'll back up, but I guess we'll find out. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure I screwed that up. Well, I'll get it strapped down and we'll find out. At this point, I had to turn the trailer around by hand and rehook. I put the rear seat on there just so I had a mount for the camera. Let's get you on there. Want to go for a snow machine ride? Well, this is 500 pounds back there, so I guess we'll find out how this goes. Got about a half mile to go. Yeah, this was the only way to move this up here because the wheels would have sunk in too quickly. Okay, we made the journey. That's great. I'm kind of debating just leaving it on the sled to operate it because I don't want it to sink in. And that's why I'm going to leave it on the sled. The snow is just garbage up here right now. And I think this is the only way we're even going to operate it. We should have pulled it ahead about 4 more feet. Holy smokes. Tomorrow we will have the battery and the oil for it. And we're going to give her her first tryout. So, yeah, that's where she sits for now. And here we have Phyllis trying out her brand new wood chipper. I gotta say, this thing is quite impressive. It actually starts easy with the recoil, and I don't even know if I need the battery part of it, to be honest with you. This is going to make life a whole lot easier and give us some useful materials on the property. Thanks for watching.